we'll see what happens. Please, John.
Thanks, Katie. Mr. President, thanks so much for joining us here.
Yes.
We all appreciate it. It's always good to have a chance to ask questions of you
Right.
directly. Can you tell us a little more about how this China deal may work going forward? Because Chinese officials have told Fox News that they will not make any concessions until all of the tariffs have been lifted. They also want relief on Huawei. They want it taken off the blacklist. They might want you to stop pursuing extradition of Meng Wanzhou. Can you tell us how you see all of this unfolding? And if you do meet Kim Jong-un at the DMZ tomorrow, would you step across the border into North Korea?
Sure, I would. I'd feel very comfortable doing that. I would have no problem. With respect to China, basically we agreed today that we were going to continue the negotiation, which I ended a while back, and we're going to continue the negotiation. We agreed that I would not be putting tariffs on the $325 billion that I would have the ability to put on if I wanted. That we're fairly advanced, depending on where you want to look at and where you want to start. Pretty advanced. We did discuss numerous other things. We mentioned Huawei. I said we'll have to save that till the very end. We'll have to see. One of the things I will allow, however, is a lot of people are surprised. We send and we sell to Huawei a tremendous amount of product that goes into the various things that they make, and I said that that's okay, that we will keep selling that product. These are American companies, John, that make product, and that's very complex, by the way, highly scientific, and in some cases we're the ones that do it, and we're the only ones that do it. We're the only ones with the technology. What we've done in Silicon Valley is incredible, actually, and nobody's been able to compete with it, and I've agreed, and pretty easily, I've agreed to allow them to continue to sell that product, so American companies will continue. And they were having a problem. The companies were not exactly happy that they couldn't sell because they had nothing to do with whatever was potentially happening with respect to Huawei. So I did do that. We talked about education and students. Somebody was saying it was harder for Chinese students to come in, and that's something that if somebody viewed it that way, I don't. We want to have Chinese students come and use our great schools, our great universities. They've been great students and tremendous assets. But we did discuss it. It was brought up as a point. And I said that will be just like anybody else, just like any other nation. And we're actually going to a point where, we're looking that if you graduate from a college, because our great companies, we talk about Silicon Valley and other places, we have a problem in this in our country that you graduate number one in your class from the best school in the country, and they say you have to leave. We can't keep them, and we're going to make it. We're going to call it the smart person's waiver, but we're going to make it so that they can not only stay, but maybe they have access to green cards. We want to keep these people here. We have to keep. Yeah, go ahead, John. Sure, that could happen, but we're holding on tariffs, and they're going to buy farm product. So, but that could happen, John. This doesn't mean there's going to be a deal, but they would like to make a deal, I can tell you that. And if we could make a deal, it would be a very historic event. We've never really had a deal with China. We've had tremendous deficits. Tremendous amounts of money was put into China, $500 billion a year. And I mean, not just surplus and deficit. I'm talking about real hard cash. And it should have never, ever been allowed to have happened for all of our presidents over the last number of years.